So here we have another case of what happens when the black man plays goddamn Superman. I don't know what it is with us, with the brothers, with the Superman complex shit, but it does not work out in our favor. I don't care who you are. And yeah, everyone's going to try to say, like, oh yeah, Russell Wilson and Sierra. But of course, that's only really the women. You have like the simps in the black community who say, yeah, what Russell Wilson did is great. But in all aspects of the problem, it's just too much of a situation that black men really have this thought that if they just put the cape on, scoop up somebody, they're going to be loved unconditionally. And the reason why I bring this up is because this recent thing on video of a podcast going around with the sister saying, like, oh yeah, I knew my husband was a simp because he accepted me with 3 kids. I had my opportunity and took it. You know that, brother Black, because most other races of men don't accept that type of shit. And it irks me to my core how black men are religiously disrespected solely because we're actually trying to do the right thing. Haven't y'all ever noticed that we're the only race of men that really get this? The ones who do the right thing are the most disrespected. But if he was to destroy people or destroy the community, he would get the most love. I don't understand this community at all. I just don't get it. It's like black. I've seen so many brothers who, like, in my past, from childhood to now, who jump up, try to save this chick who have all these kids, but all these different dudes. She whisper all these victimizing stories in his ear. Now he feel like he got to fix her or he got to fix her life. And while he's dealing with her, he's dealing with her attitude, her rejections, her children's personalities, her children's attitudes, and all this other stuff. And he ends up being stressed the hell out. It is a weird situation, and I don't understand how somebody could get a man like that and just not appreciate him. Like, why would you go on the internet and embarrass that man? That's just crazy to me. And you wonder why you see a lot of brothers just like, not marrying a woman with kids, not even gonna date a woman with kids. I'm one of them. I don't have any kids, so I refuse, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, that's just the situation. That joint is bad. And it's just like people are trying to go, oh well, it's not all of us. And I'm like, yeah, but unfortunately, we're constantly seeing situations where the man does do this and he gets no respect at all, no appreciation, barely probably gets any sex. And he probably doesn't even get his own kids out of it. Russell Wilson is the exception. Russell Wilson is not the rule. That should be known right then and there. But the problem is when a black man says he doesn't want to date a woman with children, somehow, some way, he ends up the villain. And everyone wants to put this man on the cross and burn him because he said, I will not date a woman with children. But if he doesn't have children, he shouldn't have to be obligated to date a woman with children, especially if she has multiple baby daddies. That should be a like unanimous fact. Now, are there brothers out there who genuinely would do it? Yeah. Am I going to talk down on them? Honestly, no, because you have to genuinely want to do something like that to do it. And it's a very commendable thing to do. But I don't recommend brothers just going out there thinking if I treat her better than the last dude and take care of them kids, you're going to benefit from it. Because you're honestly not. Not most of the time. Now, are there actually good single moms out there? Yes. But unfortunately, they're the quiet ones and won't push back on the bad ones. So that's the problem. Excuse me. So it's just outlandish at this point. You see a bunch of brothers who are like, yeah, not dating a woman with children. These Gen Z boys ain't having it. The millennials, me, not having it. It's just not. It's just not in our interest. It's not in our best interest. Our fathers put up with it. Our grandfathers put up with it. Our uncles put up with it. Older cousins put up with it, and it got most of them nowhere. Some of them ended up in a good situation. I'm not going to say they didn't, but most of them ended up nowhere. So like, why would they? Why would we keep seeing the same cycle? See, the thing about us is we see the cycle and we go, okay, so this doesn't make any sense, so we're not going to do it. But somehow the sisters keep having all these kids with people and expecting somebody to accept it. So I don't know, black men with the Superman complex, we just got to do better with it because honestly, it's not getting us anywhere. The Superman complex, in my opinion, honestly makes us look like fools in a way because not only does it make us want to fix this woman's life, try to be the super dad to these kids that aren't ours, we also just don't get any respect. We don't put our foot down. We don't push back. We just sit there and take everything, all the bullets, all the slaps, all the everything, the disrespect, the no appreciation. And that Superman complex really got us to this point. And now I'm seeing 40 years later, because a lot of this stuff, in my opinion, didn't start really badly until the 80s. I don't know what it was about the 80s for the black community, but it was just a horrible time. And now we're to the point where it's like, you're not a real man if you don't date a woman with children. Your mother was a single mother, so why can't you date one? Because no one asked for that. No one asked for that. So it's so weird. Like that pushback in and of itself made so many other brothers just simp out and say, you know what, I could date a single mom. I don't even like using that word simp like that, but damn, y'all brothers don't even give no kind of pushback. Like, shorty, where the dad at? What he doing? Can I contact him? Can I get his side of the story? Not even doing that. And it's just like, yo, what are we doing out here? We trying to prove to everybody that we not like the dudes out here that's making all the kids, but you get treated worse than the dude that's making all the kids. And you just okay with it. You just put the cape on to keep flying? Nah, man. That's dead in the water. That's dead in the water. Like that's bullshit to me. Like I'm not about to do that. And you shouldn't really be wanting to do that like that either, especially if she has more than one baby dad. Like if she had a marriage and she had like 2 or 3 kids from the marriage, and you were like, I don't care if they, was in a sanctimony, fine, cool. It's a little considerable because at least we know she was married when she had those kids. But to just have a baby mama who was just, community veg, I just, I don't know, bro. I don't know where the value comes into that. I just don't see the value. And if we really wanted to see the community change, honestly, black men, we're going to start putting our foot down way more. And I think the Zillennials and the Gen Z boys are going to be the first ones to really do that. I think I read in the comment section somewhere, it might have been my man Sarge Willoughby's video. And the old head was like speaking from a Gen X perspective. The millennial boys and the Gen Z boys were the first boys I've ever seen be like, I'm not being no stepdad. And he said, I'm proud of y'all. And I said, okay. Because let's be honest, I've never in my life seen a man say, I was a stepdad and I would do it over and over again. I've never seen that. I've only ever read, I was a stepdad for X amount of years. I will never do it again. Let's let that sink in. They said they would never do it again. That's already a bad situation. Like, what am I getting out of that? Am I getting some bullshit? Am I getting probably a lot of it? Are there some great stepdads out there? Yeah. Like I know Reggie Bush. Was it Reggie Bush? I think he had a good stepdad. So a lot of dudes out here that have some solid stepdads. But they're the exception, not the rule. And we keep trying to get the exception to swallow the rule. Like, it's not happening out here, Captain. And that's just like the worst type of John. Like, it's like, yo, you trying to rap with people and they just talking out their emotions. Like, yeah, well, you should take care of the kids because they need a dad in their life. Okay, fine. Where's the dad? Like, ask the mom that question. Where's the dad at? Where's the dad? They need a father figure. Where's the father? That they can't answer that question, that's an automatic red flag. Because that's just ridiculous. We got to put a stop to this somehow. Because it's like, it's getting to the point where there's so much entitlement that I'm a single mom, so you should still marry me anyway. Or I deserve this type of dude now, when most of the time we already know their baby dads be outlandish as hell. Now she deserves to get a Russell Wilson. And it's crazy because I know Kevin Samuels had a video where he was talking to two women. And he even said it to them. He was like, yeah, go back and finish the family that you started. He was like, because the problem is, he's like, all these top tier men that y'all say y'all want, these guys y'all didn't pay attention to. Like, he's like, who's saying this? Like, who don't want to be stepdads? Who don't want all these kids? Who don't want you out here wearing all this stuff? He said the boring guys in the chess club and the math club and everything else. The boring dudes who are supposed to be a husband, not your fucking fucked up baby daddies. And he was right. He was like, these men are constantly saying they don't want another man's children. They don't want to be stepdads. They don't want to be this. And what happens? You got to go out there and have somebody else's kid. And then you want to turn around and start looking for Russell Wilson. And I really wish I could remember what video that was, because he really nailed it on the coffin. That was the problem. And it still is the problem. I think it might honestly be worse now than it's ever been. I cannot meet a black girl over 20 damn one without some kids. Like, I know a girl who was 30 and she had just had her seventh child. This was a couple years back. I don't think she's had any more since. She was 30 with seven. No, another girl, she like just had her fifth one. She might just be 27. No, another Joan, she was like 26 with three. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, is this like a sport? Are y'all competing? Like, what's going on? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, these women got all different baby dads for the most part. But I can happily, easily find a black man with no kids. So who's having all the kids? It's a topic for discussion, man. Honestly. But honestly, like that's just all I had to say on this topic. But yeah, that woman who went on had that little podcast, they recorded her, she disrespected her husband. This is exactly why most dudes really shouldn't date single mothers. I'm sorry. It just boggles me how she was so confident in just embarrassing her husband who accepted those nigglets on the internet. I think that's just horrendous. Something got to change. But look, let me know how y'all feel in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.